All right, introing my 5.56R rifle from Sig Sauer. I've had this for about 6 months ago, so I'm kind of shady on some of the details because it's been a little bit of time. But in the runs I've done with it, I've put over 500 rounds through it, and it hasn't had a single issue. Now, the difference, you may ask, what's the difference between a 5.56R and a 5.56? The 5.56, as you know, takes the 5.56 or 223 round. This particular firearm, the 5.56R, takes a 7.62 by 39. So for those of you who are keeping score, yes, that is an AK style round. I do own an AK, and while I love it, there were some things that drew me to this gun specifically. One, the reliability of a Sig Sauer. That goes without saying. But two, just the fact that the gun itself works really well. And quite honestly, while I love my AK, because it's a Century Arms, it's basically a Romanian surplus. And as such, the barrel may not be as true as it could be, which leads you to the problem for this guy. I love my suppressor, and I wanted to be able to throw it on a 7.62 round. And this is a 30 cal can. Now this gun comes with a threaded barrel. So I was basically able to just put on an adapter and then throw on my suppressor. And this gun shoots very, very well suppressed, and it sounds really amazing. I use this can on my 308 as well as my AR, and obviously because the round on this is a lot larger and meets the baffles closer than the AR-15, the 223 or 5.56 round, the suppression is noticeably better. It also has a gas adjustable system here. You leave it on setting 1 unless it gets difficult and stuck, and then you set it to 2 and know that you need to clean your gun soon. It's pretty much that simple. It comes apart relatively easy, and I might do that in another video. It comes out of the box pretty much just smooth and clean, nothing really on it, not even sights, iron sights. So that might be an issue for some of you. While I do believe it is important to know how to use iron sights, at the same time I do prefer optics when available. This particular package comes with the Sig Sauer sight that you see on top of the gun right now. This sight runs between $180 and $200 according to Sig's website and various other sites. It's a 3 times magnification, and it does have an illumination option on it. Let's see if I can get that in the shot. Let's go right. There we go. And as you can see, it does have hash marks on it so that you can do some target ranging and things. And it's actually a really good sight. It's worked very, very well, and it's held zero very well. The gun itself also has, as you can see, a lovely sling mount. It is also a collapsible, or excuse me, a folding stock. And so that locks up, and now all of a sudden you've got a much shorter firearm when you need it. Obviously the suppressor still adds about 8 inches of length. It's just basically a straight bolt action. It is a reciprocating charging handle and bolt system with this type because it is very similar to an AK. It does also take standard AK magazines and has a similar magazine release. Honestly, I like that. It works really well because you can get AK mags fairly easily. And kind of the nicest thing about this in reality is it came with a Tapco mag. Now Tapco is renowned for being two things: inexpensive but also generally not the best quality. This gun shoots Tapco mags no problem. And I think the best part of that is, in reality, is the fact that you've got an inexpensive magazine that's available everywhere, and Sig Sauer made a firearm that will function with it no problems. So that's speaking a lot to Sig and their ingenious capabilities and their desire to really appease the customer. A couple of drawbacks. Not a huge fan of the safety. Now, it is an ambidextrous safety, so there is one of these on the backside as well. The angle's a little bit different than an AR, and having been personally really familiar with the AR angle of their safety and the location, this one's a little bit harder for my thumb to catch, and it's kind of just a different angle. The AR does more of a 90-degree angle, and this one is considerably less than that. Not a huge thing, but on a personal note, that might be a problem for some people. The other thing is the trigger is a little bit mushy. As you can notice, there is a bolt behind that trigger. That is the actual firing mechanism. The trigger itself does nothing, but the bolt behind it is what does. For those of you who are curious, I did chamber check this already as I'm putting my finger on the trigger. I know people are probably freaking out, but go ahead and take a gander. As you can see, it's clear. But the gun did come with these extra rail slots or attachments that I was able to add on, and I put on just a Magpul angled foregrip, which has proven to be quite nice with this gun. Overall, it's pretty dang good, and if I had the choice between this and an AK, I would probably take this hands down over an AK. Ironically, it still runs an AK bolt in there. I believe it's a Belgian bolt, but don't quote me on that. So it is actually quite a high quality bolt in there. The gun itself, like I said, works very, very well. The optics held at 0 really well, and we've been able to peg a Swinger hostage plate target at 120 yards with this thing, no problem. So I mean, that tells you a little bit about it too. If you're not sure what I'm talking about for the Swinger hostage plate, you can watch some of my other videos or go to actiontarget.com and check out their hostage target. It's actually pretty darn slick. The gun has functioned really quite well. I've put easily 500 plus rounds through it, and I'd highly suggest picking one up. Now, having said that, between an AK and something like this, the AK breaks apart a little bit easier. This takes apart fairly easy, and I'll probably do another video where I actually take it apart so you can see. AKs come apart really easily, though. The other thing is an AK, you can probably get an AK for $600 to $700. This one starts around $1,200 and goes up to $1,500 or so, depending on where you get it and availability. So that might also be a factor for most people. Like I said, the 5.56R from Sig Sauer is a really good gun, and if you've got the money and the means, go for it. I go back to some of my previous statements in some of my other videos. If you're going to get a sort of a crap hit the fan, go to war gun, this gun will do it for you quite well, honestly. And depending on what you're looking for, this is not a bad gun to go with. I like the AR-15 still just because parts are readily available in the U.S. and you can get spare parts left and right. Anything goes wrong with this gun, unless it's the bolt, which you can get some spare AK bolts for, you're kind of screwed. But same kind of an ideal with the AK-47. So it's a fun gun to have, but if it was your end-all be-all or the only firearm you're going to own, you probably wouldn't want to go with this. But in regards to functionality and quality, I give it top ratings, and I would definitely suggest pick one up if you have the means. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll try and get back to you as quick as I can, and thanks for subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see if I can get some more out there.